Welcome to Small Town Hauntings. My name is Bella, and I'm a psychic medium and a paranormal investigator now. And this is my cousin Nancy.
Hi.
And she is my sidekick, my co-host, as well as the reluctant paranormal investigator.
Right? Yeah.
Yes.
Very reluctant.
Reluctant. So welcome to the series, The Warren Files. So we're going to be going through some of the Warrens' most famous cases, and we're going to be giving you the good, the bad, and the ugly as always. So today's episode we're going to be talking about is, essentially we've named it the Conjuring 2 file, what really happened in Enfield. So, and here's the case. It's a small house in London, 2 sisters, flying furniture, voices from nowhere, and a haunting that would terrify England, and later inspire a blockbuster movie. But behind the headlines and horror flicks, how much of the Enfield Poltergeist was real?
All right, let's dive right into the case file. So the location was at 284 Green Street, Enfield, London, England. It happened between August 77 to August 79. The family involved was Peggy Hodgson, a single mother with 4 children. Margaret 13, Janet 11, Johnny 10, and Billy 7. Mm-hmm. And the initial reports began with loud bangs and knocks coming from the walls, furniture moving on its own, drawers pulled out and tossed. Janet becomes the center of the activity, levitating, speaking in guttural voices, thrown from her bed. Wow, that sounds painful.
Yeah, I know.
Strange voices claim to belong to Billy Wilkins, a man who allegedly died in the home. So the initial investigators were Maurice Gross and Guy Leon Playfair. I'm going to make it sound all fancy.
Like bouquet.
Yes, from the Society for...
Physical
research?
It's
physical research, yeah. Right? It's like,
yeah.
Oh, no, it's not physical. Psychical research.
Psychical? Oh, I guess.
Yeah. Research took on this case. Spent over a year observing and recording phenomena. 2,000 plus incidents logged, including levitations, object movement, temperature drops, and voices recorded on tape.
Oh, so you got some serious evidence.
Yeah, which is probably why this happened after. Yeah. So then Janet appeared to be in a trance state and spoke in deep male voice for hours at a time. Wow.
So this is the Warrens' involvement.
Now this makes sense.
Minimal and highly disputed.
Oh, nice.
It says. So Ed and Lorraine Warren visited briefly in 1978 while in England. Guy Lyon... or Leon, as you said, Playfair.
Guy Leon
Playfair later said that the Warrens turned up uninvited and were only there for one day. Wow. Despite this, The Conjuring 2 made them central to the case. So this is the good of it. The good of it was several independent witnesses, including journalists and neighbors, reported strange occurrences. The audio recordings exist of unexplained knocking and Bill speaking through Janet. Bill Wilkins, identified, was later confirmed. He did die in the house from a brain hemorrhage, just as the spirit claimed. Janet was seen levitating by an outside witness, a passing neighbor through the window. Can you imagine looking up and you see somebody just levitating?
Yeah.
Speaking in because I did see the files for this. I did see the actual audio. I heard the actual audio file.
Oh,
and
did you?
Seeing this little girl talking in a very gravelly, it's kind of scary.
Wow.
Yeah.
That is scary.
Yeah. So some events were clearly faked. Janet was caught bending spoons and hiding a tape recorder.
Oh my God.
Okay. Critics believe she was seeking attention due to family stress and media hype. Photographs of her levitating look more like a jumping off the bed. Yeah, I did see that. It does look like the kid's just jumping up in the bed.
Oh, okay.
And it's like freeze frame. Many claim the voice phenomena could have been a vocal trick, ventriloquist-like ability.
Okay.
So from what I saw, I just heard the audio files. It sounds scary, but there was a build that was there, so that was kind of like thing. But the ugly is, media swarmed the house, turning the haunting into a circus. Janet admitted to faking some things, but claimed only about 2% was false.
2%. Interesting. Interesting they picked that percentage.
Conjuring 2 took heavy liberties.
Liberations.
Get free. Dramatized events and inserting the Warrens as the main characters. Guy Playfair, who investigated the case firsthand, was critical of the film and the Warrens' self-promotion.
Yeah, I could
So
tell
I
they're
would be
critical
too.
of the Warrens on here.
Yeah.
Because right away, it's like, they're only here for one day.
I mean, they were only there. If they were only there for that one day, I mean, how much are they really going to see? This guy's got over 2,000 things. I mean, he's observed. He's got photographs. He's got
No,
this.
it is possible he's jealous because he didn't get any of this movie money or this fame.
Yes, but I mean, how much is the Warrens really going to know? I mean, they stole basically, I mean, whoever it is, I'm not saying, allegedly.
Right.
But I mean, someone took his information to make this into it.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I do remember seeing some of the photos of the girls jumping and supposedly levitating. I think there were some ones where it looked like their hair was being pulled. There is a legit man named Billy Wilkins that actually had died there. So there were some things that actually were real. Now, did Janet actually exaggerate some of the stuff because she's a young child and she's getting attention from these adults? Absolutely. Did that make it fake? No. It's just, she's a young girl. She's getting some attention, so she's going to embellish some of the stuff.
Yeah.
But some of the other stuff is actually, you can actually legit see. We can clearly see that the Warrens really had very little involvement in it.
From here, yeah.
Yeah, and the fact that they, if in fact they were the ones who took credit for it, I mean, shame on them. I don't know if they were the ones who actually, I'm assuming they did. They took credit because this guy's saying that,
I guess because, I mean, like you said, it's part of the Conjuring franchise.
Yeah, I mean, he came in and he only had the one, they only there for one day. And then to take, you can't, any type of investigation, you're not going to be able to get much information in one day.
No, so I wonder where they got all their information then.
They stole it all from him, I guess.
Wonder how? Oh, because during the one day they grilled him for all the.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, I mean, how else would they have gotten it? They would have talked to this guy.
Yeah, this
guy. And they
so,
took it.
Closing thoughts. The Enfield Poltergeist case is one of the most recorded hauntings in modern history, and also one of the most polarizing. Was Janet a gifted trickster, a traumatized teen, or truly haunted by something she couldn't control? The truth, like most poltergeists, remains somewhere between the knocks.
To be honest, I think Janet was actually a psychic. She actually had psychic ability, and she was actually able to channel some of it. Of course, but she was a young child, so,
No, a teenager.
Janet's 11.
We're saying she's a teen. It's weird. A traumatized teen.
Well, she was 11. Margaret was 13.
Yeah, that's right. That's odd.
So
Okay.
that's why I'm like, she was susceptible to, she's got this attention and it's all on her. So yeah. So I'm not disputing, but my take on it is that she's probably a gifted psychic and she just didn't know, and that's why she was able to communicate with Billy. Or
Probably.
Bill.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Bill.
Yeah, and that's why he was able to speak and she was able to say some of the things. Because some of the information, like, if you look up this case, you'll be able to get some of the pictures and stuff. And there was I believe it's this one where Guy is actually talking to, or Guy is actually talking. I think his name is Guy. He's actually talking to Bill through Janet. And he's asking questions, and Janet is actually responding.
She's channeling.
Yeah, she's actually responding to the thing,
Okay.
and he's able to confirm that information. That's why he was able to know.
Oh, so then she probably was a
Yeah,
psychic. She
yeah,
just didn't realize it.
Yeah.
A psychic medium, actually.
Yeah, she was probably a medium. She was able to channel it, but she was also 11.
Yeah, she wouldn't know.
right? So, people are going to ask her different things. Yeah, she's getting attention. So, of course.
Yeah, any kind of attention is always good when you're a
Yeah.
child.
Yeah. So, the fact that the Warrens came in and took over and
I get the impression you're not a big fan of the Warrens anymore.
it's not that I'm not a big fan of the Warrens. I do believe that they've done great for the paranormal world. They introduced techniques that people, there's people that do it today. They follow those techniques. They've done a lot of stuff. But in saying that, how they got that, by doing some of these cases in here and coming in and taking over stuff that, and then doing some of the things that are that were debunked afterwards. They not only have done some good, but they also did some bad, right? So, I mean, doing this already, you're already getting labeled as a fraud. It's already tough enough as someone that's out here as a medium, not being labeled as a scammer and a fraud.
Always
and
trying
then
to prove yourself.
And always having to try to prove yourself that you're legit, that you're really doing this. And then you get stuff like this that happen, and you're just like, wow, it just took out the credibility right out the window.
Yeah.
And so, you're always having to try to, get people to believe you, and it's hard. It's a hard thing. But they did do a lot of stuff. They did a wonderful thing for paranormal. They brought it up to the front, and they had some new techniques, and they showed different people how to actually properly do an investigation, so they can actually, there's some things that are practiced today. There are people that have met the Warrens and have actually worked with them and said that they were wonderful people to work with. They were great. Not everybody had the same experience, right? There's the good, the bad, and the ugly in everybody.
You're not going to have the same experience.
Yeah.
With everybody.
I honestly have never met the Warrens. I've never met either one of them. So all I've ever seen from her is Lorraine. I always thought she was a very nice lady. Whenever I would see her interact with somebody else, and people always said she was a wonderful lady.
She seemed very actually unassuming.
Yeah. So I've never had the pleasure of meeting her. Maybe one day I'll be able to channel her. But I do know that some of the things that they have alleged has actually been debunked and said that it didn't happen. So what's your explanation, Lorraine?
Oh, nice. That's a whole other episode.
That's a whole other episode. But we're here to just debunk these and to give you the good, the bad, and the ugly, and you can make your decision.
Yeah, you make your own decision on whether you believe or not. And if anybody has their own similar stories or has their own thoughts on today's episode, you can always email us at smalltownhauntings@outlook.com, and maybe we'll share your thoughts or your stories on a future episode. Also, find us on socials, Facebook page, Small Town Hauntings. And don't forget to like and share our page. So
and share the video.
And share the video, yes.
Yeah. So thank you everyone for tuning in, and make sure to tune in next week, because we're going to be deep diving into another case of the Warrens. I think this one's probably going to be the Devil Made Me Do It case, which is always a fun one. So see you next week, and remember, stay spooky.
Stay spooky.